Great day today, a great morning, a great new awakening right before the sunrise. I'd like to say once again, peace, power, and love demonstrated and sent from above, below, inside, and outside, from and through our heart and mind, through all out divine time. On this day, the 11th day of July, is our 11th day of a mass world boycott, locally, nationally, as I said, globally, for and against. It's for the unification of all black people on the planet Earth against all racist tyranny and oppression and exploitation by the European nation. I'm talking about those at the high echelons of these corporations, of all the debilitation that they have caused us since we have come into contact with them, but more so of the most recent attacks upon us. In the school system, dumbing down our children, the school system being the pipeline, the prison for profit, about these jump out squads in our communities that are the people that's in the position of government say they don't exist or they're not aware of them. And this racism period, the lynching that's going on today in modern day 2018, of the kidnapping and taking the body parts of our brothers and sisters all over the land, sex reigns here in D.C., Southeast D.C., the selling of guns by those who's supposed to be protecting us, and then all that. White privilege and racism is so prevalent in this land of so-called democracy that we are taking a stand as a unified group of people organized in our divine essence and synergy and energy, that we took it upon ourselves as a people that united in this divine, organized, prolific, profound demonstration of our unity against this system of racism by boycotting locally, nationally, and globally. Not, we just advertising and one group standing up and say, we're doing this, we're spearheading this. No, we're doing it divinely. The word was spoken, and we're going on the synergy of that word, the power of that word, the magic of that word, of us being people of the same thought, same purpose, same agenda on a spiritual level, on a divine level, on a pathway of our ancestors. And we're just doing it like that. That shows our power, the power of the word, of the divine word that has been spoken into existence by way of divine decree by our ancestors. So happened that I spoke the words, but not as an individual, but as a collective in my spirituality. And once we understand our spirituality as a people holistically, for those of us do, they is understood or understood what I'm saying and what's going on. And for those who haven't tapped into that divine essence of knowing who we are as energetic divine beings placed here in the planet Earth, in this the realm and dimension, with a purpose. Our purpose is to get back to our divinity. Our purpose is to get back to our matriarchal lineage, rule of our matriarchal queens and goddesses, and the warrior priest kings being at the side of our sisters, and ma'at, and a balance of truth, justice, and equality, and harmony and peace. That's the what we are trying to get back to again. But the people that's in rulership now of this planet, they have long misappropriated their rule by the things that they have done in their nature and their behavior towards humanity. The reason being because of their lack of humanity. And before I go any further, I'd like to say Hotep, Assalamu alaikum, peace, shalom, namaste to my sister Justice Love again this morning, that's joining us. And if you have anything, any input, do that so we can interact. Any words you need to say to, just put out to rejuvenate, to motivate, to instigate, so that we can get that energy from this matriarchal, beautiful queen. Anybody else who wants to come on and have a word to say and help in this motivation process? Is a process that we all involved with, because it's a silent war that's being perpetrated by these people who are manipulators of the truth, of the facts and everything. They stole everything that they have, and they stole it from us, from our foreparents, our previous civilizations that we had. And this comes from a long time ago up into the present time. Everything that we done, they took it, plagiarized it, and used it as their self. Even this thing that we call history. They took history and distorted it, because they really didn't have any history. So everywhere they went, they conquered, plundered, and when they did that, they just took on the character and the culture of that people that they put in captivity or whatever, or conquered, and took on that like it was them, like they done everything that was already a foundation, that was already a whole civilization or a whole foundation that was grounded in civility and harmony and peace. But this genome primate, Neanderthal, came in and ruined everything, because they develop a God complex, because they don't have that divine essence in their universe or in their DNA. It's simple as that. And in this time, we are trying to protect ourselves against their folly and their racism, everything that they do to hinder our growth and development, getting black to who we are as a people. In this day and time, we have to get back and understand and know who we are as a people, as a divine people. And on this 11th day of this mass boycott, locally, nationally, internationally, globally, the whole world, because this is their objective, to control the whole world. They've been everywhere on the planet Earth, on every uh, continent of people and ethnic groups in their domination and control, plundering and taking over. And a good example of that today is what America and the British or England done with the Europeans coming out of Europe and going into the land of Palestine and taking a portion of land and saying that this is Israel. And the growth of the people that went there back, what 1943 or something. No, not what. Yeah, it might have been back that time, that far, when they had the the war, the Suez Canal with the Egypt and all that, and that's the how they got it over there. They got in there through that war that time, and they brought some people from Europe and said that these was the lost tribes of Judah or something like that, these Europeans who are not Semitic people. They're European people. And this happened way back then. They got these people now where the people, the original people on the land, have a little parcel of land now. Because these people expanded in their growth and development and their terrorism with weaponries that came from America, because America give these people like $3 billion every year, and they give it back to America buying weapons from America so that they can terrorize the people over there in that land. That's a good example, other than the example of the people here in America, what they did to the people of America, or what they did to the people of Africa. They colonized those people in Africa, enslaved people here in America. And we are the product of this mental slavery and the spiritual slavery here in America. But the trick and the trap that we are not aware of, that everything that they promote, as far as religion, holidays, culture, everything is fraudulent. And once they took from us the things that we lived in our culture, for our spirituality, certain practices like juju, like voodoo, or even we'll say a witch, a sister that was a witch or whatever, or warlocks or whatever like that. They took it upon themselves to say, the Catholic Church at that time, saying that they were the intermediary between man and their God. Not our God, but their God, whatever God that they made up in their mind and created in our minds, that this is a God that we shall worship or should worship, that a lot of us worship. It's a fraudulent God, because if you take God and turn it around, it is dog. So if you do that, if something that magnificent, that sublime, would you have that type of connotation? No, you know why? Because it is that great. But in the Roman mythology, it's it was said in mythology that she raised two sons, Romulus and Roman, or something like that, and they was like, that's why they give this credence to this word God, because they turn it around and worship the dog. I'll get some more information on that so I can be more specific on that. But these people, and then on the same note, where, they said everything that we worship was evil and don't do this because it's evil in the name of God and the Son and the Holy Ghost and all that. But what do? They use this and create secret societies, practice occultism in their daily activities. And that's what they have, the control over the minds of the masses of people here in America that's following these religions. It is a magic that they have. Because like you say words, right? You spell words, right? And you use words to put spells on people. And that's all it is. And it's that simple and simplistic. But they got us all caught up in the mystery of it. The mystery that is a mystery to us, but it shouldn't be, because they stole everything from us. The witches used to take portions and heal people. Same thing with voodoo. We heal each other and all that. They took it out of context and put an evil connotation to it and use it for the practices that they put into it. That this genome primate, who has a nature of a beast that came out of the caves of Europe, that had a hatred for nature, for the creator, and people, us. Because when they was in the cave fighting the wolves or whatever, going through their bestiality, we had federations, not states or countries with borders and all that. We had a whole open, vast landmass, and we dealt with each other in harmony and peace. And we did have skirmishes, we had them, but we didn't do what they do. We didn't take each other's land, and we didn't rape and rob and the diseases that they came through them by messing with animals, crossbreeding with animals. The diseases that came with them, we didn't even have none of that. We didn't even have murder. We didn't even steal or none of that. All this came along with them. So that's why we got to relearn and rethink everything that we do. Along with the 21-day boycott, we also ask that we stop practicing all European holidays. All the holidays that we practice in this country are costly, for one. It's a business. And also, on the flip side of every holiday that we practice, it's another story to it. It's a story of corruption, manipulation, and all that. And every holiday is, spending your money for something that's not in line with your culture, with your spirituality, in reality. Because the reality that we live under now is distorted, because we've been made, stamped, processed, made in America. Because a lot of us still in America today are still under mental slavery. We're still under mental slavery. We still are so deceived. We are so relieved also to be able to rub shoulders with the European, to the point that we become Negro pens, under robot control, walking around with our eyes wide shut. And you cannot be like that in today's society, because there's no room for growth and development spiritually and culturally. If you don't relearn and rethink, you're going to have an identity crisis. You're going to have your natural nature, your own nature crisis, because you're going against your nature. Because you cannot be any other than who you are by nature, by your creative energy that's in you, in your DNA. Your DNA already got everything that you're going to be and all that within you. Your DNA is your divine prescript of who you are as a human being. And you must tap into the energy, because it's about energy. See, that's what they stole from us too. The concept of all, like astrology, the sciences of astrology, numerology, all these things. How do you think we built the pyramids? The Sphinx. How do you think that we build pyramids over here on the Colorado, that they don't say nothing about the Colorado River, all up and down there? All across this land, you'll see pyramids in South America, Central America. And every time they find one, like they found the Amalek heads, those big heads, they said they're monkeys. And if you look at them, you can see the nose and the lips like us. But they'll say they're something else, because, see, they're trying to find themselves. That's why they call it, when they go into the graves, anchonology, or whatever the word is that my tongue won't let me get to say at this moment. But anyway, they are not archaeologist or something like that. That word that I'm trying to pronounce correctly, but I'm tongue-tied and tongue-twisted. But we know that it's not that, but they're grave diggers and grave robbers. And why they doing that? Because they're trying to find evidence of themselves. Because everywhere they go, wherever they go on the planet, when they dig these graves up, what do they find? They find evidence that we were already there. Everywhere on the planet that we go, that they go, searching for themselves, that we already there and been and left evidence of it. And see, here in America, we got to do the same thing. We got to wake up and come out of their spell, come from under their curse, come from under their hypnotic trance that they put us in, and the magic that they're doing, playing on us through the frequency, vibration, and energy. They change the frequency in the music and all that. And that frequency mess with us spiritually, tones and all that, music and all that, it vibrates within our psychic and deals with us and kind of like how we operate in society. We have to get it back into those sciences, those natural sciences, to be in accord and in tune with nature. It's this natural and simplistic. And you don't have to be, like they say, you don't have to be a rocket scientist. All you have to be is a human being and do righteous thing. You have to get in tune with your nature, which is a nature of the divine essence that is your blessing, who you are on the inside in reality, to develop that divine personality. See, in ancient Kemet, that's what they did. That's where they were like saying gods and goddesses, and all across the continent of Africa, Akabu land, or whatever you want to say, Exium, or even further back when Pangea is when the whole land mass was all connected. We got to get back to that time where they talk about Atlantis and stuff like that, where we could levitate and telepathically communicate. That love was of the essence. Love is the blessing, that the vibration that bring us together and unify through self-love and self-healing. That's how we can stop this killing in our communities. We have to reach our young youth today, now, so that they can turn it all around and become young warriors and protectors of our community, because we have a natural enemy, and the natural enemy has used us against ourselves through social engineering. We have to know this, because it's their weapon that they have used, and the worst weapon is that television that tells you what to do through vision. And now in the digital world, while you looking at they're looking at you. Even on the phone now, this phone social media that I'm using, they have the ability, while I'm addressing you, they are addressing me. And they use this as a means to keep the eye on you. Like they say, Big Brother is watching you and all that. That is a axiom now. That's a universal truth. They have the ability to do that. The CIA, the NSA, the NSC, all these people have that ability to be watching you when you don't even think they're watching you, through your digital TVs and through the telephones and all that, tracking you. I like to say Hotep Ashe to, who is that? Lord, Olale can rule. Once again, it's joining us, and the beautiful sister, Sheba. I ain't even going to try it, because you're going to say everybody mess up your name. Labici. Like Che, Labiche. I'll say it that way. But anyway, this is the 11th day of our world global boycott of all races, tyranny, the system of exploitation worldwide, because it comes from the same source. It's the European Neanderthal troglodyte genome primate, in their quest, like they said, the dude with the red hair, like he said, like his ideology now is to take America back to when it was great. Their concept of that is totally erroneous because they never had America where it was great. Only time that America was great was when it was under the rule of us as a people that was in harmony and peace here under matriarchic essence and the blessing of the divine blessing of the Creator and our ancestors. And that's where we got to take it back today, take it black today, right now. And this is one of the processes that we are going to drive these people either off the planet because they're trying to go to space or they're trying to go underground or whatever. Get back to, we want them to do either or. And they think they're going to destroy the world in doing that or escape their fate. But they can't escape their fate in the space stations or in the hollow ground, hollow earth, wherever they want to go and do whatever under the ground where they already got a couple or about 3 or at least 2 that I was told about, big underground cities that they going to retreat to try to, get away from the fate of that they created in polluting the earth. But wherever they go, they can't escape their fate. And whatever they do is not that they're going to destroy anything, because by the divine decree, we have the protection of the Creator and our ancestors. They call them angels, but if we look at it, they are our ancestors that they don't want us to know that we had the connection to our ancestors, the people that passed before us, even immediately family back in historical times or whatever. But our ancestors is that energetic power that went back to the source. The source is the Creator that we have to know. It ain't about belief and faith. It's about knowing. It's about being able to say this is. And that's what it is. And there's no other alternative or no other option of something else that's greater than the divine essence of the creative energy that people call God, Allah, Jah, whatever, but it's only one. And that one is the manifestation of the all. And that's where we come from. That essence there that's in us is a blessing. And we have to apply it every day of our lives. We have to come together as matriarchic and warrior priest kings and be protectors of each other by developing the communities, protecting our communities, protecting the people in the communities, being able to communicate with everybody in our community, from the young warriors on the street corners to the elders that's on the corners also, that's in their houses or on the street. And it shouldn't be a lack of communication. It should not be a generation gap between the youth and the elders. It should be a respect right there between both. Because the elders were youth at one time. And the youth, you're going to be elders if you live. It's about life and not death. See, we've been programmed to deal with death because that's all they're feeding us is death. And there's no pun intended. They're feeding us death through the food, trying to take the seeds out the food and genetically engineered food that's not no good for us, but this is by design. That's a form of control. And on that note, I want to again tip my hat to Brother Poe over there on 54th and Dick Street Northeast. They got a plot of land that's growing food on the land. I ate some of that. He gave me some squash, some okra, and what else? Did he give me some peppers? And some peppers. And it was prepared yesterday in some rice. And whoo, boy, natural ain't nothing like natural food coming out that earth without any chemicals on it. And this is a black man in the city, a whole plot of land, growing different vegetables on this land, tilling the land, being the husband to the land. That's what we do as a people, because that's what we know how to do naturally. It's by divine essence. And the brother said, he said, I can come over there, and you think I ain't going back over there and get some of that squash or something, or peppers or tomatoes or anything, or the peppermint? I'm going back over there, and I'm going to support him financially, whatever. We saying we doing this boycott, we're picking whatever corporation that we know that has been a deterrent to us. This is to exploit us through the commercialized lies and all that. You know, like the Michael Jordans and all them type of $300 or $400, $500 tennis shoes that got our youth killing each other for earlier when they first came out. And then they talking about comparison. This a little tidbit. They want to compare us, always want to compare something, but it's about sports. Putting the ball in the hoop, that's really not that important, right? But the comparison is through the money that they got, through us coming to support them, right? Comparison through LeBron James and Michael Jordan. Jordan was in the game before LeBron. LeBron came in the game to change the game. But the game that he changed is his mind and spirit with his wealth. He didn't put it into corporations, prison profit, the prison for profit. But Michael did. Michael know that his tennis shoes was so costly that people wanted them. Our youth wanted them so much that they was taking other youth tennis shoes that parents could afford them for them or whatever, and they got killed. A lot of the youth got killed for that. He didn't bring the price down. What the brother named Marlboro, they had the same type of shoe that was made from the same type of material, but he sold his much cheaper. But through commercialized lies that these corporate vampires and vampire millionaire got behind Jordan and lifted him up in the air and like promoted everything about him. So they went to those shoes. But guess what happened? This brother went to China. They built a museum for him, for his humanitarianism. So, and then what I'm saying about LeBron, what he spent, is reported, he spent $14 million or one something on schools, and he's building another school. Comparison. Which comparison is much greater? The heck with putting a ball in a hoop, that ain't nothing. That's a game. Lesser than a chess game to me, because you ain't using your mind. It ain't about strategy. You can cross over and jam and all that, man, but it's a physical activity. It's not a doctor. It's not a scientist. It's a game. But would you gain all that money and do nothing with it but hoard it and not help the people, not help the community, and then you want to make a comparison? The comparison is that one is a Negro peen and one is like a warrior. Like what? Like Jim Brown, Muhammad Ali, Abdul Jabbar, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. Those people were warriors. Gail Sayers, Dwayne Thomas. Those people are warriors. What's the brother name? Lynch, the brother for the running back. Them warriors. See, they don't want warriors. They want people that they can control. People that sold their souls become Negro pins or boulets or gatekeepers. Our brother, Bill Cosby, he was trying to make a move. What did they do? They killed his son first, then they stop him. They bring all these vampires out of the woodwork. Those worms say that he raped me, he gave me a cocktail, and he did this. Lies, and more lies. They're liars, they're manipulators, and they You got to watch out for the trap or the trick, because the trick going to be the trap. And see, if they build you up, they'll tear you down. If you got something to lose, or, your character, your personality, or your money and all that, that's what they do once they build you up. But if you don't have nothing to lose and everything to gain, and you done been through the pain, and you're not insane, but you're divinely inspired, what can they do to you? Nothing. If you have the love of your people in your heart and your temple, what can they do to you? Nothing. What can you do to them? You can show the people how fraudulent they are, how undivine they are, how manipulated they are, and you can show the people through their own sciences that their nature is of an animal, a beast, genome primate, a bloodline. What is RH factor? That's their bloodline. They don't have the same bloodline as us, and that's a reality. And that's what we have to trust in, is the reality, the divine reality that is in us as a people. That's what we got to unify on our divinity. I like to say, Hotep, Assalamu Alaikum, Namaste to Latoya, loving from me. Glad to have you on. And as I say, if you have some words of input, motivation, stimulation, this is what Blackanized Report is all about. And it's about the peace, the power, and the love that's in us, in our temples. And in this day and time, we got to take black the beginning and develop this now for the end. For the end is the beginning, because it always will be, and we will always be. The matriarch queen and the warrior priest king must come together in unification. And that unification is to build our free nation. And we start with in our dome, in our temple. We have to relearn, rethink, and put new data in the computer, which is our brain. And the conscious and subconscious, like the universe, ever expanding. And the subconscious is way more vast in the abyss or the apex of consciousness. We have so much space in our universe that is almost to unbelievable qualities. That's like the physical universe is ever expanding. We already have that expansion in our universe. We have everything that's inside us is on the outside in a physical semblance. We have the cells, we have all the minerals that's in us is on the outside. And we got to know that and know our connection to the energy source, to the sun and to the moon and to the planets. We got to get into numerology, astrology. We got to get into the voodoo, the juju, everything that they say we shouldn't do. We got to get into it. We can't let them say, like, well, I ain't call the names, but a lot of people, they be saying, man, you can't do that because this is this and that's is that, and it's in the Bible and this and that. The Bible is being used against us. It's the magic that they use because it's like mass mind control. What was the name of that movie with Denzel Washington? He was a blind guy, but he had the Bible, and everybody wanted the Bible, especially the European. Because the Europeans say, if I can get that book, I can control them again. It's a book of control of your soul and your spirituality, because it's not based on reality. It's faction, friction. As my Moorish brothers say, truth strangely mixed with falsehood. It's what it is. And they use it against us. They use religion against us to divide and conquer us. That's what they do. And it's been done since they we in a paradigm in this realm, in this dimension of 2018 years. That's what they want to keep our mind right there. It's so bad, right? I didn't talk to a couple of one guy was a young guy. I can see that. I was talking to him. He said something about 2018, and I was saying, man, we build pyramids. We can go back to 50,018. He said 50,018. How we can do that? And this and that, right? I looked at him. How can we do that? It's concept of time have us confined in 2018, but we can go back before that because there was a space or a era before 2018. This is a Christian era. That's what they got us confined in with these these pedophiles and homosexuals out of the Catholic Church. That is a fact that they be paying people off, all the little boys that they done molested, to pay them off and say that, here, take this money and don't tell on us. But it's a fact. That's what they are. It's their culture. The Catholic, the Roman Catholic, the Romans, the fake Jews of Europe, and the Greeks. Culturally, going back in time, Alexander the Great had the whole world, conquered the whole world. And what did he do? He had a boy on his side. Got mad at his wife and put the wife down and went with the boy. That's what they do. This is their nature we're dealing with. We're dealing with their nature that bring into laws of homosexuality. It's a law now. It's like they do it in the church. They marry them now. And in the Bible, doesn't it say it's wrong? In the Quran, it say they should get stoned. With a hadith, I'll say they should get stoned and all that. But in the church now, and then not only that, in the Islamic circle, they be trying to get it there too. Homosexuals want to have a masjid and all that, you know. But it ain't about that. And then they trying to also manipulate us to get into pedophilia. They mess with young children because that's what they do. That's why they got their occult circles. This whole thing is based on a cultism and magic. But they took it from us, and see, we don't use it for those purposes that they use it in their secret societies, their fraternities. They ain't got a Greek fraternity. That is madness. How can you know that the Greeks got all their information from us in ancient Kemet? They studied at our feet, and then they defeated us, and then they kill us off. Then they take all our information, put it over there, and it vaults in the Vatican, and then so sad about this thing. Then they like process and make us and say, stamp, made in America. And America is affiliated with the Russians, with the English, with the what is it? Netherlands, Icelands, Greenlands, all these European lands, the Portuguese and the French, and all of them are in cahoots with each other. It tells you that in the Berlin Conference. We got to read and study. They tell us everything they done to us. They told us in school how they treated us. They don't tell us nothing about our building the pyramids. And before that, when I emphasize, we telepathically communicated. We levitated. We did everything on a spiritual, divine level with our divine, beautiful, matriarchal queens and the powerful warrior peace kings. We controlled the world in harmony and peace, man. They came and corrupted that and took it to a patriotic or patriarchal control, where this European man got a God complex. And what does he do? He pillage, he plunders, and he rapes, and he steals, and he kills, and he lynches, and all that. And he's still doing it today. And I want to say, Hotep, Assalamu alaikum, namaste to Dingo Man. Glad to have you on. And in this 11th day of this mass global boycott, let's keep it up. Wherever we doing it at, on the planet, in the country, keep it up. If it's 1 by 1, 2 by 2, we be connected in the energy, frequency, and vibrations of a divine thought pattern. And we do this, and then after the 21 days, we think about what we've done. And then we see how powerful we are in unity. Then we start practicing the holidays. What's the next holiday? Whatever it is, a Memorial, is it not the Memorial Day, a Labor Day or something? Whatever day it is coming up, we boycott that too. We stop practicing. When we stop practicing, that's like a boycott too. But stop practicing it. We got to get it out of our mind, out of our psychic. Because every time we do it, we spend our money, for one. For two, they just sit back and laugh at us because they know the true side or the other side of the holidays that we practice. Now, Mother Day and Father Day, that's every day, man. We don't even, it's asinine. We do every day we be doing the mother and father thing, especially if we got children. So just to take out a day and do all that, do it every day. I mean, birthday, that's on you. That's a holy day. That's the day we should practice Mother's Day, on our birthday, because they went through the pain of bringing us here. Do you know how much pain how much they suffered? They suffered so much pain that that pain right there you don't want to experience it, but they do, naturally. What Dingo Man say? Dingo Man say, more love, more life, King. Hotep, the same to you, my brother. The black life and the black love all over the planet Earth that we got to take black. We got to take it black to the essence of our matriarchal queens and the very powerful warrior priest kings. Because this silent war is going on. It is killing us, because through us killing ourselves, because we've been programmed, socially engineered to do it. Our young warriors are predators on our street corners because they've been programmed to be in a silent war, and they don't know why. They thinking it's a blood feud at McCoy's and the Hatfields or whatever, but that ain't nothing. That ain't that. See, it's an open laboratory in this society, in this world, through chemtrails coming out the sky, fluoride and stuff in our water, drinking water, GMO, genetically modified food, taking the seeds from our food that we grow and all that, and so they can be in power and control. And another thing that we can say, I'll do it like this. We can say Alhamdulillah, we can say Hotep, we can say thank the Lord. They're dying out. Their death rate is greater than their birth rate, naturally. And they can't deal with the sun because they're not natural people. They're genome primates. They don't have the melanin that we have because they're not human beings. They're mankind, kind of man. All we have to do is lock into ourselves and be the divine essence and the divine people that we supposed to be by nature. In our DNA, in our temples, in our universe, we have to understand that, and then be black, and then be loving of each other. Of our, NOI, FOI, organized. I say Rep Union Temple, organized. I say Jeremiah Wright, organized. When I say organized, they speak truth to power. I say like the brother LeBron James, what he's doing. Umar Johnson wanted to do the same thing. Umar Johnson might have slipped up, but they said if you can fall down and look up, get up. That's what our great mayor for life said, Marion Barry. He was betrayed and trapped. The trap is the trick and the trip is the trap. We got to remember what these dudes will do. We looked at what they done, man, and we still get caught up in the trap. We got to come out of it. We got to be better than what we were yesterday. We got to look black, be black from yesterday, and take yesterday in the essence that our ancestors gave it to us. We standing on the shoulder of our ancestors, just like Martin Luther King said. I might be leading my people into a burning house. He also said that dream that I thought I had, and that turned out to be a nightmare, because these people is not going to change. They don't have our best interests at heart. They show you that. I'm not saying all of them. I'm saying the ones that got a John Brown mentality, I say black power to that. You know why I say that? Because he put his sons and his family on the line for the freedom of the black mind and the black nation. Got no problem with those type of Europeans. But them hillbillies and those racist Neanderthals, troglodyte, genome primates, I got a problem with them. Redhead boy and his crew, the Alphabet Clan, the NSA, the NSC, the CIA, the FBI, the Interpol, and all those type of assassins that come from under the offices. Of that of the black Jesuit. You don't know? That's who controlled all of the assassins. That's all they is, are assassins. All those alphabet clan or alphabet boys or clans I just named, they are assassins of this criminal enterprise they call the government. So we got to counter everything that they do. What they do to us, we got to counter it. I'll do this for 1 second. When I say counter it, this is what I'm talking about. I'm talking about that right there. That chess game right there. That's what it's all about. It's a political chess game. You see what it is? It's black against white. So that's what it be. And we got to know that we playing a political chess game or political poker. And the stakes are very high. The stakes is our lives that we're playing with, that they're playing with, because they're in control. They're in control of the people with soul because they're soulless. And we have to understand that. And we have to be warriors. Warrior priests, kings, and matriarchal, oracle, voodoo priestess, queens, warrior queens like Queen Azinga, Queen Aminga, Amina, Queen of California. We got to be them Amazon queens and them warrior kings. And our woman, the power of the woman, we must hold in high esteem. We must put our women, lift them up again, even though we allow them to go through what they went through, but never again. Never again will that do or happen. We got to take back our school system and teach our children, because they got the Neanderthal vampires in our schools teaching our children nothing. I just read something about the children of where, I forgot where it was, a city in I'm not DC, but in this country, I think it was was it Chicago or something, that they are suing the teacher because the teachers ain't teaching them nothing. And an example of that is one of our high schools in Ward 8. They come in with a 1.3 GPA and go out with a 1.3 GPA. That is senseless. That's truly dumbing down our children. But the time for all this to stop is now. We got to take control. We have to, by unifying, loving each other, going through the self-healing process and the process of changing the mind. If you change the mind, you can change the heart. The mind is where the diamond and the gold and all the minerals of your inner being is. See, we got to deal with the inner self first. So in our essence, in the blessing of us being the black people that our ancestors left for us, they told us the truth is etched in stone. That's why they over there scrubbing the wall and trying to get the pictures off the walls and trying to get all the wordage off the walls, because they know the truth is there. Our ancestors left before us, and our ancestors say, know thyself, because when you know thyself, you'll know that you're of a divine essence, and that's who we are. See, it ain't no secret. We're magical people, but they took that away from us, and they like suppressed it. That's why they give us this false education of ourselves and all that. That's why we got to go into ourselves and educate our own. It's good to go to their schools if you're just looking for $1. If you're looking for peace and freedom and justice and equality, then you must educate yourself and don't get no Eurocentric education. And with that, I like to say we must continue our boycott. We must stop practicing all European holidays. All the holidays that we practice are not ours. Look on the other side of everything that you practice and research, read. And if you can't read, get somebody to read. And if they can't read, if they ain't reading the right thing, get somebody that can read the right thing, that know the right thing, that know the righteous thing. In this day and time, it's no turning back. It's turning black, the pages of time, so that we can develop our mind, spirits, and bodies. We got to exercise that. We got to do it today, because it ain't too late. It's never too late, because we've been here this long. And they done everything to us, man. Everything. And we still here. Everything they done to us, we still here. They tried to destroy the family. We still here. They lynched us. We still here. They sent us to their wars, and we come home. We still here. We had to go in the back doors. We still here. We deal with their laws to try to get equality. We still here. But we tricked ourselves. We tricked and fell into the trap. And we got trapped and fell into the trip. The truth be told, Brother Dingo Man said, it is the truth that got to unfold. The truth that's in our soul. It's in our hearts and minds that we got to contain and get back and maintain and sustain it. We got to get black in the essence of who we are and desensitize ourselves from this Eurocentric education indoctrination. We have to develop our own schools to be self-taught, homeschool and all that. We can go to their schools and get their degrees and all that for the, big money, the 6 figures and all that. But get the 6 figures, but don't sell your soul. Because if you sell your soul, you better look at the examples, how they'll put you in a trap and trick you. Murray Berry, but he fell down and looked up and he got back up. And our brother most recently, Bill Cosby, he's still facing jail time, for a crime he really didn't commit. But they are manipulators of their fraudulent laws. So we got to develop our own laws and our own infrastructure in this damn time, because this is America's falling. They got Red Boy in there, Red Top, or whatever you want to call him. A bad illustration and demonstration of a president, but all of them the same. I'm talking about from Obama, Abraham Lincoln, all of them. All of them had the same game plan because they on the same team. So don't get it twisted. We got to stay with the spiral of our DNA within our universe and know who we are. We was here first, we're going to be here last, and the last going to be first. Because that is what is. Nothing going to change that. Nothing going to change that truth. The proof of that, everything they did to us in this captivity, in our journey from there to here or from here to there or wherever, when they came into power, they did everything. They raped our women, they killed our men, and they raped our men too. That's their mentality. That's their whole psychic. They're homosexuals, pedophiles, and liars and deceivers. And they got us believing that is our nature. We're going against our nature, trying to be like them when they're trying to be like us. They're trying to duplicate and replicate everything that we had. Look at their women now. They used to have flat butts. Now they got big butts like our women and big lips and all that. But they do that through synthetic injections, man-made stuff. But ours is natural, divine. And that's why our women are so fine. And so with that, I'll come back. If I'm blessed to be black, I'll be black tomorrow. I'll be back in black tomorrow. And every day thereafter. Because I am who you are. I'm a reflection of you in love, in preponderance of building our black nation again. No matter what they say or who say or whatever say, we're going to do this day. We're going to reach out to our young youth on them street corners who are predators now, but they're not. They've been programmed. We just got to reprogram them. We got to test their hearts so they can rethink the whole situation. Once they know that they've been used, they're going to say, what? They used me as a fool, but now I know who I am. I'm full of love for my people and self-love and all that. You change the thinking, you change the heart. It's about jobs and all that, but you got to change the thinking. Purify your temple. Because if you don't, then you're going to still be in the same cesspool of fools. We are tired of being foolish in the foolery that they created for us. So with that, I say, once again, Blackanized report, the other side of black report of Malik and Malik, for the people to realize self-reflection and blackanized essence of who we are as a people. And I won't say anything else, but you'll see more of me on the other side of things that I have to do as a warrior. So, peace, love, and power. I sure so train. Because it is soul train. We on the freedom train. Emancipate yourself from everything.